So I just got off of work. I just got a job. It's my second day working an office job. And I've been unemployed the past 2 years prior to this job I'm working right now. Let me tell you, I went through the traditional path of life. I went to college. I went to work right after college. And up until that point in my life, I never questioned anything. I just accepted my fate and I was like, yeah, this is life, bro. Of course you go to college, of course you just, get a job and then it's just chill, whatever, until you get that job. And in this generation, we're so self-damn aware and it's like to a fault. We're like, damn, getting the job sucks. And being unemployed the past 2 years low-key sucked almost as much as the job, because when you're sitting there expected to work, expected to, be productive, expected to give back to society in a very specific type of way, it's hard to just be around people, bro. You see people online who work a normal job and you get like jealous, but then you're also like, damn, whenever I worked that job, I wanted to like KMS low key, like keep myself safe, of course. And, you know, and it's like getting a damn job. Holy crap, that was hard, bro. It's May right now. I just started. I've been applying since January. And how the hell am I supposed to explain 2 years of a gap? And I low-key just didn't, basically. I interviewed actually pretty decently, but I had to prepare so much. It was hard as hell. I had sent 100 applications, and I had to grind my resume. You're competing with AI, like resumes. You're competing with like people just mass applying to jobs, and it's like not even real people. And then of course just getting the damn job is hard. But it's like you're not gonna enjoy the job either because we're not built to, be in an office all day, and our this generation's like extra self-aware. And so it's a weird world we live in for sure, because especially this generation, you grow up being exposed to like people living their damn dream lives online. And then the older generation, the past generation's all confused, like, oh, why don't you enjoy the office? Why don't you enjoy working 40 hours? I used to wake up at 7 and 6 a.m. and work 10-hour days for fun, and it was awesome. But low key, like, they kind of projecting low key, because the reason they hate young people who are so like wanting the freedom, and they complain about these jobs, is because those old people probably complained about that too, but they just didn't know anything else. And us young generation, we see other things that we should or can be doing, and we're like, damn, I want to do that. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to do that, but the hardest part is like, you know, as delulu as I am, I'm gonna freaking make it on YouTube. I'm manifesting that shit into the ether, bro. I'm gonna make that shit happen. But like, the damn, as delulu as I wanna be, I gotta eat, bro. Like, I gotta eat, bro. I gotta live. Like, I don't wanna be homeless. I don't wanna be a bum. I wanna be responsible for myself. Maybe buy a gym membership type shit, but I also don't want to get lost in that lifestyle of where you're like, okay, I'll get an office job, and then like maybe my dreams will go happen later in my life. Maybe my dreams will happen later, but guess what, bro? You're not getting younger. You're actually not getting younger. I'm gonna tell you that now. I think I missed my right turn. Whoops. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is, y'all, you are the youngest you will ever be right now. You're not gonna get younger. It's just a fact. And so my dream is YouTube, but I obviously can sit here in reality and be like, I need to get my shit together. And so I'm driving home right now. It's like 5:20 right now, 5:30. I'm driving home right now because And I can't think, I'm so tired low key because, working an office job, it's nothing like crazy like 12-hour shifts in the coal mines, but like you gotta think about it because, you're just sitting like all day doing stuff you're not really care about. It's gonna probably drain you. And so like, if y'all got a dream, like that shit's not gonna make itself reality. So, but I actually initially wanted to make this video. I kind of low-key went a slightly off topic, but it does relate. But I wanted to make this video because my experience being unemployed for 2 years, uh, it was not very fun because I had to unlearn, and I'm still unlearning so much trauma and understanding myself better and why I don't like to work in an office all day every day when I did work in it, and then also unlearn like that I need to be a valuable member of society by producing something. And it's so interesting, at least in America, that's just how you're raised. If you're not being productive, you're just not useful. But it's like we're humans. Like we're not valued by what we do. You don't value a baby because it's producing something in the world. You just value a baby. Well, maybe you don't, but like, you know what I'm saying. And so the past 2 years, it was just a lot of expectations. And I told my family basically when I quit my job, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do YouTube. I'm quitting that jobs because YouTube is my dream. And at the time, I didn't even think that was fully true. I think it was true enough where I could do it. But when I quit my job and did YouTube, I was now put in a whole nother realm of expectations. Because now my family's expecting me to become successful on YouTube. And the pressure to succeed is there in a different light. It's literally like the same thing, different time. I don't know how to explain it, but like, yeah, it was really hard, and I'm still like unlearning some of that. And now my family's like, now that you got this job, why don't you look at the career paths that this job can take you? But I'm gonna keep it a buck, and I know my family sometimes watches my videos, so like, hi, I guess, if you're watching, but you know what? Otherwise, I'm gonna just be me. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I cannot foresee myself being in an office job for the rest of my life. I think if that happens to me, I've lost. I lost something along my life because I just think that there's so much more to life than being inside an office all day. And I also, I don't want to be full delulu like, yeah, I'm gonna just go travel the world and not work at all, like have like not give back in some way to the world at all. I'm just gonna live off of the world, bro. Like I understand there's a purpose in everyone's lives, and we want to help each other out. I think there is, in the very basic sense, that's just a general accepted truth. Like if your life can help at least one other person's life, then I think you've succeeded in this world. And so like oh shoot, bro, where was I going with this? Low key, where am I turning? Okay. And so like all of these expectations in this new job I have at this age I'm about 26, and this new perspective I've had for not being unemployed for 2 years and then also being employed for 1 year prior and getting like low-key work trauma. And like older generation will probably laugh at that term, but they just don't understand, and that's okay. They have their own trauma and stuff. But like, yeah, if my life ends up being I work, and I'm not trying to shame anybody who lives that way or who wants to live that way. What I'm saying is like, if I've had a spark, if you see that inner spark and you want to do something more in your life, it's like, why not chase that? Why not strive for that? It's like, what, like in the end, you're stopping yourself And maybe that vision is something like your full potential that you could be living, bro. And so like I'm just curious, like, why would you not do that? And I know the expectations from outsiders, they just don't understand, or they're low key projecting because like they want to do it, but they're too scared. And so throughout the last couple years, just being exposed to so many of the expectations and opening up my own mind and being aware of them is just like mind blowing. And it's really interesting to see how the human brain just works, at least in your own inner world, at least my personal experience. It's so interesting. And now some of you may be asking, okay, well, like, if your dream is YouTube, then what the hell are you doing going back to freaking work? I mean, like I said, I got bills to pay, I got food to eat, I got to I can bum at my parents and make YouTube work. I low-key do believe that. But the thing is, like, I just was pushed in this direction. Whether it be an external force combined with an internal force, I feel like it was an external world telling me I need to get a job and like get off my ass. But like low-key, it ended up being my decision in the end. I've been told I need to get a job for 2 years, like low-key sometimes and then high-key sometimes. But then now I'm like, it's time because I think this is the best direction to reach my dreams in YouTube. I was reading this book, it's called The Way of the Superior Man. I'm not sure I could recommend it. It's a pretty interesting book, but there's parts that, you take what works for you, basically. And an interesting part in that book is like purpose is like an onion. You don't just have one purpose in life. And maybe you do. I'm not some all-seeing truth giver, but like what I'm trying to say is like when you're, let's say when you're a kid, your purpose might just be to go to school, and maybe you play like soccer, and maybe you like playing Minecraft. Screw it, bro. Or Five Nights at Freddy's. And you like those things come naturally to you, or you just enjoy it a lot. And there's like something special. It's not just, random pleasure, but there's actually like something special. You feel like alive when you're playing it, maybe you're playing with friends or something, and it's like it's a really special time. That's your purpose at the time, but when you grow up a little more, maybe you're not supposed to be in, 8th grade social studies, or you're not supposed to be in like you're not supposed to be you moved on to slightly different things or new things, but they might be related. Maybe you're playing a different game, or like I'm a gamer myself, so I feel like there's, like games can reveal a lot about yourself, is what I'm trying to get at there. And then, but basically, like as you go out through your life, you get different purposes. And so right now, my purpose is to work this job, and I think it'll lead me closer to my real purpose in this world. And I think YouTube will lead me closer to that as well. And so I really want to reach my generation and let them know, you know, I know the expectations for us to perform is super real. So like y'all are not alone. And like really like living through that crap of just needing to be productive is crazy. And so y'all, if you do like, protect your peace, do things you enjoy, take care of yourselves. Um, yeah, y'all, if y'all are looking for jobs, it is possible. Keep pushing. It probably sucks for most people right now. My cousin's been searching since January, bro. It's May, like I said, and it's a hard world out there for sure for my young folks. But y'all, like, it's a confusing world. Take care of yourselves seriously. Don't compare yourselves to anybody else. If you've been unemployed for a long time and you're just not ready to get a job, bro, like take your time. You're not valued by, your output. You gotta be able to take care of yourself. If you're waking up and you're just like don't want to do anything and you're like the basics are hard, a job is not gonna help you, gang. Like actually, a job is not gonna help you there. It's probably gonna make things way worse. And I hope you can find your support. It's a really crazy world we live in because like it's just so easy to slip into doom scrolling and gooning and like addictions and video game addictions. Like I'm a gamer, but like there's got to be a point where you gotta like take care of yourself type of thing. Like gaming is a reward, but if you like wake up and instantly start gaming, that might be slightly concerning. Um, or if you're doing it all day, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you can find balance with it, but I don't want to ramble in that topic. But y'all, and if y'all don't want to go into the traditional workforce, it like I'm gonna be blunt with you. It's up to you then to carve your path. I'm all about that. You see my channel here. I'm all about carving your own path, man. But like then that's on you. Like you can complain about the workforce, but if you're either not applying or like, if you're trying to get a job and you're complaining, that's valid. It's hard. But if you're like the way the world works sucks, like jobs suck right now. I give up. Like it's the society's fault. Like you're probably right, but the thing is like what you doing, dude? If you're if it's if you don't like your life, we're not this is the secret. You're not in survival mode. If you're not in the craft, in the Minecraft, we're not in survival mode, guys. We are in creative mode. But it's up to you to op yourself, bro. And I don't mean like like in Minecraft type shit I'm trying to say. You have operator privileges, bro. You have a choice to choose survival mode or creative mode. And if you wake up in survival mode, you are gonna live a miserable life. But if you wake up and you're like, I'm in creative mode, bro, and you start like spawning diamonds and shit and you just like make your world how you want it. And of course, there's limitations. In Minecraft, there's not circles and like spheres. You got blocks, bro. So play with the blocks then. Play with what you got. A very freaking silly way to put it, but you know what? I'm a silly dude. So, anyways, y'all like do what you can. You know, you guys might have visions to live a certain way, and sometimes it's like too much. Like the visions are too ambitious or that's too like you just can't do it. Like I get video ideas all the time and I want to make these grandiose videos. But guess what? Like I'm also freaking tired and I have like like I'm gonna take care of myself. I gotta eat well and do like exercise. Like I like those things. I'm very blessed because I am obsessed with them naturally. But I'm gonna do what I can, and like slightly unfortunately right now it's just a yap video, and I know I got shit I need to share, and this is valuable for at least one person, and so like as much as I want to do these grand ideas, sometimes you just gotta do what you can, and sometimes all you can do is make a 20-minute video while you're driving home from work, and so whatever your freaking dream is, y'all, do what you can and switch to creative mode, bro. I'm home, so I'll see y'all tomorrow. Type shit. Hey, have a good rest of your day. Stay blessed. Peace.